Welcome to the 2021 EQUALUX Taste of GSBA. Whether you're watching at home in your pajamas or at a party with other GSBA supporters, thank you so much for joining us. As you will hear tonight, the investment that you make in the education of our students makes a huge impact. It changes not only the lives of the students, but the lives of their families and the communities where they live. It changed my life just getting involved years ago. I've been a member of GSBA for 30 years and have participated in just about every aspect of the organization. And for this past year, I have had the honor to serve as the acting president and CEO. I could not have done that without the help of an amazingly talented and dedicated staff and the leadership of a stellar board of directors, led by our board chair, Jay Pedersen. Please welcome Jay.
Thank you, Mark. On behalf of our dedicated board of directors, I want to thank you all for joining us tonight and for helping us raise funds to continue the vital work of the GSBA Scholarship Fund. It has been an honor to serve as the GSBA board president for the past year. I'm so proud of how we've been able to pivot our program in the middle of a global pandemic to still meet the needs of our amazing scholars. In fact, through the Beeks Family Open Arms Fund, we've actually increased our support for students who are now able to make emergency funding requests for things like an unexpected car bill or food insecurity. I would also like to extend a special thank you to Mark Rosine, our acting CEO, who has been at the helm much longer than he initially agreed to be, but who has done a tremendous job taking care of the board, staff, our members, and the community. And now, I would like to ask any of our board members who are tuning in virtually to announce yourselves in the comments below so you can be recognized for your selfless leadership of and commitment to this beloved organization. Thank you for all you do. And now, please welcome our MC for tonight, King 5 Evenings, Ellen Meany.
Welcome everybody, my name is Ellen and I am delighted to be your host for this evening. I'm a reporter for King 5 Evening, which is all about interesting people, places, and things in Western Washington. Your virtual EQUALUX program tonight is an abbreviated version of the live show happening right now in person at the Westin Seattle Hotel. You'll be hearing from the same impactful scholars, and we have a special musical number for you as well. Now, due to those pesky copyright laws around music, we aren't able to share the rest of the musical numbers with you, so to see and hear those, be sure to buy a ticket to the live show next year. Of course, the most important reason we're here tonight is to raise funds for the Scholarship Fund. At any time throughout the show tonight, you can go to equalux.org where you'll find a link to give. First up, we have first-year scholar Jay Robles to share their story.
Hi, I'm Jay Robles. I go by he, they pronouns. I'm a junior at Western Washington University, and I'm studying sociology and the history of culture. I am hoping to use my undergraduate education to help me get to grad school. I'm hoping to go to law school. I'd like to go into social justice organizations. Really just want to be able to give back to my community, however that ends up. And I think my path is going to be through law and organization. I've just spent so much time doing the work that is important to me. Organizing and engaging in your community is not something that you do when you want to get props for it. It's really hard work and it's really hard to sustain. And being a leader who is not just a person of color, but like a queer person of color, like is a lot of work and is a very thankless job, but it's who I am. And to be recognized for that, it just completely changed how I see myself. It wasn't really until I got to college that I started being able to really engage in spaces with other people that are like me. Finding my people, being able to find spaces that and friends and professors, people that understand me in all different ways. It just felt like I could breathe for the first time. I have really bad asthma, so that's not actually a thing that happens, but it was just like this great relief of like, oh, like this feels good. It doesn't always have to be as hard as it was. My parents cannot support me financially for college. Like, they do what they can, like getting the GSBA scholarship and like having that conversation afterwards, reflecting on it, like made me realize like, oh, hey, like I'm not the only one that cares. And I've got people who are on the same track as me and who want to help me do this, who want to help me move forward, and who believe in me and what I'm doing. Investing in people like me into our community, the GSBA community, is more than just like an investment. Like it's part of something greater. If I could say one thing to the GSBA family, it would be that I am so grateful. And I want you all to know that the investment or whatever is not just into me and isn't just into all of us as individuals, but into hopefully a greater future for all of us. Like, I do feel connected to you all. And it means a lot to me that like there are people out there who see me and who want to see me, and who are going to be looking forward to all the amazing things that I do in the future.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Jay. It is so incredible when people get to find their chosen family in college. It's such an important time in life to spread your wings and see that you really do belong. Now, before we go any further, I want to take an opportunity to say thank you to our sponsors. This event would not be possible without them.
Hi, I'm Matthew Phillips, CEO of CarPros Automotive Group, and this is my husband, Devin Howard.
Matthew and I are big believers in higher education, but unfortunately, college is not accessible to everyone. The LGBTQ community often face even more barriers. The COVID-19 pandemic has only made things harder. That is why we are proud to support the GSBA Scholarship Fund and are future leaders of our community.
CarPros is honored to be the title sponsor for EQUALUX Taste of GSBA 2021. At CarPros, we've witnessed firsthand how this pandemic has disrupted the lives of our customers and our employees. Our team has had to work even harder to ensure we can provide not only a great experience, but that we can do it in a way that helps keep everyone safe. But it's not just about keeping people healthy. It's also about being a safe, comfortable, and inclusive place to work and shop. Just like the GSBA, we value promoting equality and diversity. When you visit one of our CarPros dealerships, CarPros Kia Renton, CarPros Hyundai Renton, CarPros Kia Tacoma, or for our friends who have places in Palm Springs, CarPros Kia Moreno Valley and CarPros Volkswagen San Bernardino, you will be treated with respect.
Thank you very much for joining us here tonight, and we hope that you will join us in generously supporting the great work of the GSBA and the GSBA Scholarship Fund. Your support is an investment in the LGBTQ youth and the future of our community.
All right, who's out there looking for a new car? You in the sweatpants? Well, if so, you definitely need to check out CarPros Kia, and be sure to thank them for their commitment and support to the LGBTQ+ and allied scholars in our state. Now, another one of those amazing scholars is first-year scholar Isaac Bullock. Here's Isaac.
Yeah, my name's Isaac. I go by he, him, they, them pronouns. I go to Tacoma Community College. I'm 22 years old, and I'm studying to be a communications major. I came from Varna, Bulgaria. I'm Bulgarian. I have gypsy blood in me, very proud of that. And I came here in 2003, and my two moms who adopted me were very happy to have me, and I then moved here to Tacoma in 2005. The interview process for this GSBA, it was really inviting and encouraging, actually. I was very nervous, as anyone would be if they're getting interviewed for something important like this, and what an honor it was. But I felt really just relaxed and welcome. The people didn't frighten me or ask really big. They just knew how to connect with people and wherever they were from. And I could tell right off the bat, even though my interview was over the screen, which I wish it would have been in person, but oh well, that I felt safe, I felt invited, I felt relevant. And I think that was a really important thing to me, being interviewed for this GSBA program, that I felt relevant. And I think that's a really important and big issue that we have with all ages of every person, of every kind, feeling relevant and safe and wanted. So I really felt that right off the bat. And I'm so blessed because of the people who have given to me and everyone else in this community. And I hope to gain from my education in communications to then give back. And I want to become a donor one day, like all these people have been helping us in this community. And that is my top priority and goal, is as a person who has taken love and support from all of our donors here, that then I can then pass on the help to others.
Thank you so much, Isaac. I love that you're unapologetically yourself. You're inspiring me. We gotta keep it going. Well, next up is first-year scholar Michelle Rocket.
Hi, my name is Michelle Rocket, and my pronouns are she, they. I go to school at Arizona State University, and I am majoring in family and human development with an undergrad in women and gender studies. I work as a special education instructional assistant with high schoolers, and I help them in their general education classes get the services they needed and help teachers modify assignments and really just help support them in what they need. Being completely online for my program has been really challenging, mostly because I don't have that social community right now, just because we're all quarantined and we're all trying to minimize our risk. And I work entirely in person, and I see probably 400 students a day. So really just trying to minimize that risk. Going from being an instructional assistant to being a special education teacher, I would be able to best serve my students as an autistic person. When I was in high school, I didn't have that. I didn't even know that I was autistic, and having somebody that would have known what it was like to work with autistic students would have made such a big impact. I'm able to relate to my students in such a specific way and really understand a more complex way of working with them. I feel like I found different community throughout different aspects of my life. I feel like GSBA has been so incredible in helping me find more queer community. I've found queer autistic community within my current role at my work. I work as the union vice president, and really just helping build community there with other neurodivergent and queer people has been really amazing. Once I graduate from my program, I really want to continue working with the special education advisory committee that I'm a part of. And I really want to work with the school district to operate under a more inclusive lens and include the intersectionality of different identities that exist in the school district I work in. I actually found out about the GSBA Scholarship from my wife, Elizabeth Rocket, who got the GSBA Scholarship in both her undergrad and her graduate program. Having the scholarship has made such a tremendous difference. I have a daughter who's also autistic who has more support needs than I do, and a lot of the money that I make for my job goes towards her therapy bills. So really having the scholarship has taken such a tremendous load off my shoulders.
Oh my gosh, I have a special place in my heart for people that work with kids. Thank you so much, Michelle, for being a leader in your classroom. Representation is so important, and we cannot wait to cheer you on as you get your degree and grow your responsibilities. Now it's time for our special musical number.
around, come around.
I see a beautiful sun over the hill now, yeah.
You see me looking around, and it seems that I found the sky is no longer gray. It's gonna be a new day, yeah.
A new day is coming. The sun over the hill.
Lift your head and sing. Let your voices ring, and we have joy. We have joy. And my path is brighter than ever.
My mind is determined and strong.
Though my path is not smooth, I continue to move it. Not much longer, I pray. Gonna be a new day.
A new day is coming. The sun over the hill.
So lift your head and sing. Let your voices ring. And we have joy. We have joy. Sometimes you hold on to a hope that's gone. Here a gift is, you've been lifted. Sometimes I can't see the light in front of me, though it shines so bright. There's a new day.
A new day is coming.
I can see the sun now.
The sun over the hill.
Lift your head and sing. Let your voices ring. And we have joy. We have
A new day is coming. The sun over the hill.
Lift your head and sing. Let your voices ring. We have joy. We have joy. Joy. We have joy. We have
Today is not only an important day for the Scholarship Fund, but it's also Transgender Day of Remembrance. Here to talk more about the significance of this day and what it means to her personally is fourth year GSBA scholar Ro Boyce.
Hi, my name is Ro Boyce. Pronouns are she and her. I go to the University of Washington, Bothell. My major is public health and gender, women, and sexuality studies. Transgender Day of Remembrance is a day that reminds me to keep my taser charged. It's a day that reminds me to share my location with my cousin every time I leave my house. It's a day that reminds me that this may be my last. While we may be in a pandemic, the murders and the violence against Black trans women is declared by the CDC an epidemic throughout a pandemic. That means 2020, there were 45 sisters that have been murdered, and in 2021, there are 31 names, and we're not even done with the year yet. And still we live in a country, in a world, that doesn't allow us to live because it has removed the humanization out of us. And that is the issue. Because I am someone's daughter. I am about to be an aunt, apparently. I am someone's granddaughter. I'm someone's wife. The thing is, when I show up to fight for queerness, I'm fighting for all of us. Black, brown, white, orange, green, I'm fighting for every last one of us, and I'm coming for everything. But you gotta show up for us too. I implore you to just think before you speak, because you never know. Your children could be battling the same hardships and demons that a lot of trans people battle because they don't feel accepted by you, their parents, or you, their friends or family. And that in itself is something that is devastatingly sad for most trans folks because it ends in suicide, it ends in sex work, it ends in not knowing that you matter, it ends in not understanding that your voice counts and your mere existence is beautiful. How have I grown since I started the program as a GSBA Scholar? Tremendously. It's been an experience that I never thought I would have. It's been an experience that my ancestors never thought I would have. It's been the opportunity to be their wildest dreams and to be the representation for young Black kids, young Black trans kids, young queer kids. The program has allowed me to breathe. I've grown in my advocacy, I've grown as a student, I've grown as a woman. It's given me the opportunity to brush shoulders with people that I would never even think that we could have a conversation. It's given me the opportunity to be in rooms that my name was not meant to be in, and for that I am eternally grateful.
Ro, thank you so much for your powerful words and for sharing your experience with us. Now, I'd like to invite you, wherever you are, to join me in a moment of silence as we share the names of the Black trans women who have been murdered in 2021.
Thank you so much, Ellen and Ro. What a powerful reminder that there is so much work still to do. My name is Eve Huang.
And I'm Masoud Tarabi.
We serve in the GSBA Board of Directors, and we're proud to serve as your EQUALUX 2021 co-chairs. I hope you've just seen the impact of supporting LGBTQ+ education. Education is one of the great equalizers. It's one of the ways someone gains power and autonomy over their life. And as many of us know, it can be the difference between having a successful career or being forced to participate in dangerous work in order to survive. As we heard from Michelle, queer representation matters. It's so important for young people to see people like them succeeding in every career path, and that's what you're helping to do tonight. So please join me right now in going to equalux.org, where you'll find the link to make your donation.
Every level of support tonight makes a lasting difference, but I'd like to highlight what impact your support can make. A gift of $10,000 will fund the entirety of one of our scholarships. Thank you to our board chair, Jay Pedersen, and his husband, Michael Matt Miller, for already stepping up at this level. This means 2 of you giving $5,000 will fund an entire scholar. Thank you, Carrie and Ashley Carson, Kurt Kirkeberg, and Puget Sound Energy, all coming in at this level. Or 4 of you giving at $2,500. Thank you to Katie and John Mooney and Lori Dugdale. A gift of $1,000 will fund almost a year's worth of our Leadership Academy for students, which includes online and in-person trainings and our yearly Leadership Immersion weekend. Now, supporting at the $500 level is about the average emergency funding request amount that we receive. This could fund textbooks or a medical bill that a student can afford but needs in order to continue onward in their degree. Whatever number you came into the show planning to give, is there any way you can stretch that just a little bit? It's no secret we've been hit hard this year, as many nonprofit organizations. Donations have been down for us since the pandemic began, but we are hopeful that with the support of our community tonight, we can get back on track to growing the number of students we serve each year. I'm proud to raise my virtual paddle this year for $1,000. Will you join me?
Yes, I will join you. I'll give $1,000 this year and hope to see many of you at that level or above. A gift of $1,000 automatically places you into our Ruby Slipper Donor Club, and we look forward to having a reception to celebrate our Ruby Slipper Club members next year. A gift of $10,000 puts you into the Emerald Slipper Club, and with cumulative giving of $50,000, we welcome you into our President's Circle. You can also make your own named scholarship fund with a commitment of $30,000 paid over 1 to 3 years. If you'd like to talk more about your giving plans, please contact Jeff Boyer or Mark Rosine at the GSBA, and they'll be glad to support you.
I'm actually in the process of getting a name fund going, along with a couple of my fellow board members. What an amazing opportunity to provide additional support to an amazing student and organization. Now, back to you, Ellen.
Thank you so much, Masood and Eve, for stepping up to this important role this year. Now, I'd raise a paddle too, but, well, hold on. All I have is this high heel, so that's gonna have to do. Our next scholar is Sarah O'Connell.
My name is Sarah O'Connell. I use they, them pronouns, and I am currently at Skagit Valley College doing the registered nursing program. I've been in healthcare for about 10 years, working in-home care. I've worked in skilled nursing facilities and assisted living facilities, and more recently I am at a local rural hospital in acute care and ICU. Working towards my registered nursing degree so I can go on to get my bachelor's in nursing and then my nurse practitioner afterward. And nursing is very important to me, especially with the COVID-19 pandemic and being an LGBTQIA plus community member. Accessing healthcare for especially trans individuals is very challenging, and I believe that we need more providers who are in the community to be there for our community members in primary care and trans-related care and every aspect of healthcare. It took a while for me to build up enough confidence to be openly non-binary in the workplace because of the rural community that I live in. But it has empowered me to speak out in my nursing program, to tell them what my pronouns are and tell them how strongly I feel about teaching these topics that can be pretty sensitive. I would love to see more activism in the nursing field for the LGBTQIA plus community, especially in the learning environment of nursing school. I've been in nursing school for about 6 months, and I've noticed that a lot of the cultural competence teaching is more directed at differing religions and ethnicities, which are very important, but very little time is spent on the LGBTQIA plus community. And I think that is probably one of the leading causes of the healthcare disparities for our community. I want to start as an intensive care nurse or a cardiac nurse and work through a nurse practitioner program, hopefully through an affiliated hospital, so that I can be a provider for our community, either through a healthcare clinic or Planned Parenthood, so that I can be working directly with our community, helping LGBTQIA plus community members find access to healthcare, that they feel safe in discussing issues that they may have, or just general primary care and trans-related healthcare. Receiving the GSBA Scholarship and becoming a GSBA Scholar has been a phenomenal help. Being able to focus on school and not have to worry about the financial aspect of paying tuition or any of those things has been amazing for my studies and for my self-confidence, and just providing enough time for me to do well in school. My hope for the future with the GSBA and being a GSBA Scholar would be to be in the community of the GSBA and to learn the leadership skills that I need to be able to make a difference in healthcare. It's so important to me to step out of my shell that I've hidden in for so many years and be a loud voice for not only my local community, but just overall in our healthcare for America. And I believe that I could find that support and that leadership with other GSBA scholars and just the community of the GSBA. To all the supporters and donors of the GSBA, I can't say thank you enough. It doesn't seem like it's a big enough statement. It's a huge deal to me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that it has made life-changing alterations on how I can actually go to school and not worry about the financial aspect. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Sarah, thank you. We all owe a tremendous debt to nurses and healthcare workers for going the extra mile in the middle of this pandemic. Thank you for serving the community in this much-needed field. Now next, we have first-year scholar Art Hamilton.
Hi, my name is Art Hamilton. I use they, he pronouns. I go to Western Washington University and I'm studying industrial design. Industrial design is the combination of art and engineering. So all of the creativity plus all of the science equals all of the problem solving in the world. My ultimate goal is to create solutions to problems that people in my community face. I think it's important to have queer leaders because representation is empowering. It's empowering to other queer people that can envision themselves growing into something greater. One of my greatest queer role models is actually my brother. He's trans and he also married a lady. So growing up, he was gay and then he transitioned in our religious household, which was honestly very impressive. And he paved a way for me to come out and do my thing, which was very empowering. I would like to be a leader that leads by example and gives room to everyone to make their voice heard. I think that diversity in STEM is very important. It's very important to have diversity in problem-solving roles because then the world gets the opportunity to solve the problems that aren't seen as readily as others. My journey as a queer person, since middle school, I was involved in my Gay Straight Alliance Club. And honestly, I started as an ally. And then it turned into something like I am non-binary, which was inevitable. I always knew that I was queer, and I took it even further. I recently had top surgery and I recently started tea, which really empowers me to become my true self. I would like to say to the donors that thank you, and I appreciate it so much that I am able to go through my educational experience without financial hardship and debt.
Yes, we love seeing queer representation in the STEM and STEAM fields. Thank you, Art. And last but not least, we have first-year scholar Abby Sanders coming to you all the way from Arizona.
Hi, my name is Abby Sanders. My pronouns are she, her. I currently attend the University of Arizona and am majoring in political science. In the middle of COVID, it's still been pretty fun here. I've got to learn a lot from my professors. Currently, the way my classes work are some of them are still like in a hybrid format. So that means sometimes I attend the class in person and other times I attend the class on Zoom. And then a lot of my tests are still conducted over Zoom and online and using kind of a digital platform. So it's still very interesting that way. I know they said next semester we're much more likely to just be fully in person, but it's still been a lot of fun and a great experience to be in the middle of COVID and being able to learn again. I'm hoping to do with my political science degree is attend law school after this, and I actually want to be a civil rights lawyer. I used to do a lot of soccer, so like Megan Rapinoe was a big person who advocated for LGBTQ rights, people of color, and things like that. So that was kind of a big inspiration, just wanting to, in the first place, like kind of fight for those rights and stand for those rights and stand for something that you believe in that's also bigger than yourself. And then kind of the output of that was going to law school and becoming a civil rights lawyer. What it means to be an LGBTQ plus leader is a lot of perseverance despite obstacles and knowing that you have to keep going. You got to because as I said, I come from a small town. There were always obstacles with kind of like the intersectionality of my identity. So keeping that perseverance going and trying to make things for the better no matter what hits you is such an important kind of quality to have. So I would say perseverance and just that drive is the most important thing when it comes to being an LGBTQ plus leader. The financial resources of the scholarship mean a lot to me. I'm sure anyone can tell you college costs a lot. There are so many expenses, not just tuition, just like living life while trying to be a student is very expensive. And then there's always added fees, books. There's always something, a club fee that's going on. And so I'll say that alleviates a lot of the stress off me, a lot of the pressure, so I can more on just kind of focus on my studies, keeping my GPA high for law school because that's such an important thing so I can be successful later on. So I would say the scholarship is very helpful,
Well, thank you so much, Abby, and thank you again to all of our scholars who shared with us this evening. I know it's not easy to share vulnerable parts of yourselves, and we are all so grateful that you've shared pieces of yourselves with all of us. For all of you at home, thank you for sharing this time with us. We hope you've been inspired by just some of the amazing student leaders in our GSBA Scholar cohort. As a reminder, if you haven't done so already, please consider making a gift tonight at EQUALUX.org. Next year's event will be on November 19th, 2022, so mark your calendars now. It has been my pleasure spending the evening with you all. Have a wonderful night.